at the right time.
But we say, listen up.
Yeah.
Told you this from a long time.
Look before the time.
That's right, people. You're locked into the Big Bad Station, and of course, we're just giving you a little flavour there of the tune with Ras Demo and of course Johnny Osborne. Keep it locked in. We're going to be speaking to the one and only Ras Demo right now. Okay, so make sure you keep it locked in. And without further ado, please do welcome the one and only. Okay, so of course, say hello to the people out there.
Greetings, blessed love.
Blessings. Yes, of course. So, of course, let the listeners know who you are and a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Ras Demo, aka Demolition Man, reggae artist / jungle artist, producer, engineer with Enemy Yard Productions and Third Eye Records.
Wow, okay, lots of different heads on you.
Yes.
But you know what? Tell us about that name, Demolition Man, Ras Demo. Tell us about that, how it came about.
Demolition Man came about when I was in America. I was living with my dad. And basically, I was a bit destructive. Burnt a hole in my dad's sofa when I was sleeping. Dropped the spliff and bun up the couch. Broke the lamp. So basically, I was a bit accident prone. Okay. So my dad gave me the nickname Demolition Man.
Okay.
And then Ras Demo, that was like 1994, because originally I started from I was 13 years old, so they used to call me Wayne Young, because my name is Wayne.
Okay.
So I started off as Wayne Young, but then Demolition Man came 1994.
Yeah.
And then 2010 is when Ras Demo evolved, because I started to voice some Studio One stuff and Treasure House stuff with Pickens, and a brother named Pick Out. He had a label called Pick Out Label. I know him, and he heard some of the songs, and he said to Pickens, "Who is this?" Pickens said, "It's Demolition Man." He said, "No, man, he needs to call himself Ras Demo." Okay. So obviously I'm a Levi, but in Babylon terms, I'm a Gemini, so that's split personality in it. So yeah. The Ras Demo is with the reggae stuff, and the jungle stuff is the Demolition Man. Everybody had an alias back in the early 90s, yeah. Bounty Killer, the Warlord, Terry Gansey, the Outlaw.
Yeah.
Everybody had it. So it was just Wayne Young, alias Demolition Man.
For real.
I come from, so it's Ras Demo, alias Demolition Man now.
Okay, I like that. But you know what? I was doing some reading about you, trying to find out a little bits and pieces. And of course, you know what? You got to tell us about the Inting Hi-Fi and Justice Sound, how that came about.
I joined Inting Sound when I was like 13, actually, when I was 13, 14 years old.
Okay.
That was with Inting Sound. I was with my brethren Tintin at the time, Fluxy Dread, Renault Rankin, Smirty, General Dan, Million Dan, and Leroy Natty, the selector, and Winston Fergus. So there was quite a few, and my first day actually DJing on a sound was at a Sound Clash.
Okay.
Wow. And they had to put me and my cousin on the record box so we could stand up so the people them could see us because we were so small.
Yeah. Wow.
So that was my first encounter of going on a sound. Imagine putting right in the deep end, but we was like the surprise.
Okay.
We was the surprise of the clash.
Okay.
We were like their trump card. So when everybody thought the other sound had done their thing and won, they brought us up, and then that was it. That won the clash, and that was actually against one of my inspirations was on that sound, Richie Davis, because he kind of inspired me. Him, Peter Bouncer, and Renault Rankin, Renault James. That's where I got that's how I learned a lot of harmonizing and singing from those guys.
Okay.
And then around 87. Because that was like 1983. Then around 87, I joined a sound called Justice. That was another. My cousin was in that sound, but Justice was a youth man sound.
Okay.
Because Inting sound they were big men. Yeah. Me and my cousin was the only one on the sound that was 14 at the time, but the other guys were like 20, 21, much older than us. But then Justice sound, we was all around the same age.
Yeah.
And there was around 15 of us in the sound. We was the first youth man sound in Tottenham. And we were like, some people would say that we was like the gate openers for all other, and inspired a lot of other sounds in Tottenham and Edmonton. Because then we had a sound called Lady Force, we had Second Image, Scorpion, and all these sounds.
Yeah.
Were like, it's like they got a lot of inspiration from Justice sound, because we was the first youth sound representing Tottenham.
Okay. And, you know, for those who are listening in and don't really know much about sound, what did it teach you as an artist?
Well, it taught me how to interact with people, how to clash, how to make lyrics on the spot. And, you know, just to keep you on point with your lyrics every week, because you have to come with something new every week or every other week.
Okay.
Every time you play it, you have to have something new. So it just kept me on my toes. And this is what a lot of the new artists now don't have the experience, you know, because in that time, in the early 80s and late 90s, you know, I don't know if you know, but the sound system culture was big. Yeah. You could just walk everywhere, like in Tottenham or Hackney, and you'd go to parties, blues dance, and there'd be a sound playing. And as we'd walk in, people would know it's just this sound. Yeah. And it's Demolition. And I was way young at the time, and as we walk in, people would just hand us the microphone. So that was I actually learned to control my voice, you know, how to deal with people and talk to the crowd. Yeah. Because you got a lot of artists, new artists now. They're just studio artists.
For real.
They don't get that. They have to. I feel it for them, because a lot of them have to go on stage shows to perform and get their practice. Yeah. And interact with the crowd. So, you know, and if you're not good, whereas with sound system now, every week it was being recorded, because you could only record it on cassette, so you could hear yourself back to see where you made your mistakes. Yeah. And you know, because sometimes you might start off a bit high with the pitch, so you know next time don't start it so high. You know what I mean? So I got all of my schooling. Yeah. From working on sound system.
For real, definitely. And you know, you've also been on tour with Bounty Killer. What was that like?
Well, that's how the name Demolition Man evolved as well. I was in America living with my dad. Okay. He's passed away now, but that was 93 to 94. Yeah. And he was friends with Lady Patra and Shabba Rankin's road manager. Okay. So what it was, they were putting on a show with Bounty Killer, Lady Patra, Roundhead, and Ninja Kid. And it was funny, the road manager called me from New York, and he was in the office with Specialists. He was the man at the time who was managing Shabba Ranks and Lady Patra. Yeah. And he was in the office, and he just put me on the spot, put me on the speakerphone and said to me, boy, DJ some lyrics. But I didn't know he was doing that to me for me to get on the show. Oh, okay. Because Specialists and the guys was in there, and I'd done 3 lyrics over the phone, and that was it. Everyone made noise, and he was like, yeah, you're there on the tour. So we went to Washington, Boston, Massachusetts, and then we went to Hartford, my hometown where I was staying. But I would say that was the first that tour, was the first time I experienced my first ever boo on stage. Oh. That was funny, but it was a biased boo. That's what's funny about it, because we was like, I was 22 at the time. Okay. No, I was 21 at the time, and I know Bounty Killer, we're the same age. Yeah. So that was the first time Bounty Killer had ever come to America. Okay. So what it was now, in Washington, it was a hardcore American crowd. There was lots of Jamaicans, but it was a lot of Americans. So the first, I remember who was on the show, it was a guy named Willie One Blood and another guy. But when the first guy came out, he must have had they must have gave him about a minute on stage. Okay. After a minute, they booed him off. And then after that, now I came on the stage. No, another guy named Honorable Apache came out. I think they gave him around 45 seconds before the whole crowd started to boo him off. And then I came on. I think they gave me around 10 seconds. I didn't even get to start my song. I just started to talk. Wow. They just started to boo me off. So then, obviously, they didn't want Lady Patra around it to get that embarrassment. So the spokesman, the MC for the night came out and said, "Wait, you know why you're around it?" The crowd said, "No." Them say, "Why you're Ninja Kid?" "No." Lady Patra, "No." "You know why you're Bounty?" So when Bounty came out, I'm not gonna lie, it was like God stepped in the place because all who don't smoke had lighter.
Yeah.
Every lighter it looked like it in a church. Be a candle, like everybody had lighter up. And to be honest, it's like I even forgot about the brew because I know it weren't a genuine brew. It was just a biased brew to get us off so they can hear Bounty.
Yeah. Okay.
But what I loved about Bounty when he came out now, obviously the people cheered for him and he came out. And before he even started to do a song, he said, "You know what? Me not like how you deal with the first artist then before, because he goes, they must forget to start and all them for start. You can't, you know what I mean? Or if you don't deal with them, so, you know what I mean? So, you see, before me start, I'm going to bring out every artist for do our one tune.
Yeah. Okay, that's nice.
You know what I mean? So, come out and we did our one tune and everything was nice. But then after that, we went to Boston, Massachusetts. That was all right. That was nice. And then, obviously, in Hartford was my hometown, so that was the nice dance, you know what I mean? But that was my first ever tour, my first experience of touring with somebody big.
Yeah, that's nice.
And that's when I first used the name Demolition Man on stage.
Okay, cool. And of course, tell us about your relationship with Ras Solo and how that came about.
Ras Solo, I met him through a friend of mine, and basically, to cut a long story short, Ras Solo had a sound named Black Nation, and he played out one night, and I must have went there and sung, and then after that he was looking for me. So a friend of mine, he saw me and he was like, Ras Solo was looking for you, His name was Solo then at the time.
Okay.
And he said so he took me to his house. And when I walked to his house, he was like, "Yeah, boy, I've been looking for you," and rare tear. And basically what happened was that day, I ended up billing 7 rhythms around his house.
Okay.
And I'm voicing around 7 tunes, which amazed him because he had some people around him where they were there every day. And he was like, I don't think he could get one tune from them. But I just came and met him. And I didn't know how to use the computer at the time, but I knew how to play music and play the beat.
Yeah.
So he done everything on the computer, and then I produced it, and then from there we built a relationship from 1994 up until about 1998.
Okay.
Where we had a studio together, me, him, and my cousin Terry T. We had a studio in his house on Broad Lane, and then from there we went to Garman Road, and basically he became like a manager for me. Ras Solo showed me a lot and made me know about PRS, and I mean, Ras Solo was like an adopted father, even though my father was in America.
Yeah.
He was like a big brother, and he just took me and my cousin under his wing, and that was it. So Ras Solo from Black Nation taught me a lot still, And at his studio where we had, that's the first time I met Johnny Osbourne and Terry Ganzi and Ninja Kid came there, and Charlie Chaplin and Josie Wells.
Wow.
For a dub session, and Horace Andy. So that's when I first met Johnny Osbourne, and me and Johnny Osbourne became friends. He ended up staying around the studio for around 5 months. He ended up being around us. And Terry Ganzi ended up staying there and done an album with us. And that's where I actually got my production skills up.
For real. And speaking of Johnny Osbourne, you done a tune with him called The Right Time. Tell us about that song.
Yeah. Well, there's not much I could tell you. my bridging from France, Federico Fagata Sound.
Yeah.
Said to me, boy, he'd like me and Johnny Osbourne to do a tune. So he sent me the tune with Johnny Osbourne's vocal on it. I voiced it, sent it back to him, and there you go, you have the tune.
Okay, it can't have just been that easy. Like, was there inspiration behind it, or?
No, that's what I'm saying. It was that easy because, as I said, the tune was sent to me with Johnny Osbourne's voice on it.
Okay. I got you.
You understand? So we didn't actually voice it in the studio together. That's why it was easy for me.
Okay.
To come up with my verse because the vibe was there already, which was built by Johnny Osbourne and Federico.
Okay.
So I voiced it in my yard. Took me around half an hour, and I got it done.
Wow. Okay. Quick time.
Yeah.
So then,
quick time, man.
And then you've also worked with King Jammy. You know, everybody knows who
Yeah.
he is if they're in the reggae in particular. What was that like, that whole experience?
Oh, that was good. That was nice. 2007, I went to Jamaica for a month and I recorded 32 songs.
Wow.
I recorded with him. But about 10 of them was my rhythm tracks that I had produced. But yeah, I was I was in the studio every day, apart from Saturday and Sunday. But stayed in Dunkirk, in Jamaica, where Red Square, where Spragga Benz come from. So I was around there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I actually met King Jammy's in England through his godson Stevie General,
Okay.
which is Fat Man Sound. That's his son. And he called me and said, Jammies would like to work with you and maybe do an album. Come and meet him. So I went and met him and we just arranged. And I was in Canada at that time.
Yeah.
I was in England, but then I went back to Canada.
Okay.
And in 2007, he said, yeah, come for a month. So it was easy for me to get down there.
Yeah.
And I had a manager in Canada at the time. His name was Freddie. And he was managing me. So me and him went there. I stayed at Freddie's dad's house and yeah, done an album. And then I actually went back to Jamaica 2020, last year. Last year January.
Okay.
I was out there for 6 weeks and I ended up recording some more songs with King Jammy, some new ones.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm looking to put that album out. When I go back to Jamaica, I'm going to record some videos and mix them and do what we're going to have to do.
For
And
real.
put them out.
And of course, you know, tell the listeners any new projects you got coming. I know we just spoke about that one, but any new projects that they can look forward to and how they can link you on social media.
I have plenty new projects. The one project coming at the moment is my Jungle album,
Okay.
produced with a lot of different producers on it. Benny Page, Potential Bad Boy, DJ Fantasy, DJ Fleck, Night Shift and King Youth, Chopsticks, Dubplate, Marcus Visionary. These are all some, and Voltage. These are all like some big guys in the jungle game.
Yeah.
And that should be coming out very soon. I'm just waiting on the vinyl press.
Okay.
And then we're going to do some digital. And then I have a lot of projects coming out from Inner Yard Productions, which is my label.
Yeah.
I have a tune with me and Chronic Law, which I'm going to be putting out very soon. Just waiting to do the video. Releases with me and High Octane. My son, his name is Donny D. And I have a lot of young ones around me that I'm working with.
Yeah.
Shanty Force, Styler British, Kai Maroon. These are people that are new artists, but they're hot. So that's all my productions. I'll be putting out some compilation albums with them.
Okay.
But the first release I will be doing is a rhythm called the Ballad Bunks Rhythm, and it's a compilation album, and that has about 11 different versions on it.
Okay.
So that's one dancehall production to look out for from Enemy Art Productions. And if they want to get hold of any information or locate me, find me, just go to my website, which is rasdemolitionman.com.
Okay, just like that.
And you can, and if you go there, you get the Instagram, the Twitter, the Facebook, all the tunes I've released, the new releases, videos, pictures, updates, everything. So just go to rasdemolitionman.com.
For real. Before we say goodbye for now for the interview, would you be up for singing a little something for the listeners out there?
Yeah, that's no problem. That's no problem.
Blessings. When you're ready.
All right, what would I do for them? Let me see. Do you observe the things around you when you walk? Everybody's here for your purpose in this world, so just play your part. Yeah, even flowers and plants and trees in the parks. All of the animals and insects in the world today play their part. Yeah, we got the moon to give us light when you walk the road at night. And the stars up in the sky, from so far they shine so bright. We got the oceans and the seas, the cool Pacific breeze. Give thanks to Mother Nature for the honey making bees. Yeah, like them we got jobs to do. Everybody in the world got a job to do. Have your purpose in life, I'm telling you, cause you don't know what it could be. Yeah, a lawyer or a doctor, actress or a actor, Farmer man, we drive tractor. You could be a judge panic factor. Fly plane or helicopter. Nurse fix bone and fracture. A defender we play for the raptor. And a narrator we read every chapter. A haggler or be a hackler. Make knife and fork and spatula. Yeah, a grave digger, hall go digger like one of them girl and bachelor. Footballer driving instructor. You could be a building constructor. Or one of them road sweeper that sweep up the way from same way. Bus driver, deep diver. Move.
Hey. Fire every time. So of course, you know, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, and I hope that we get to do another interview again soon. Any final thoughts you want to say to the listeners before we go?
Well, just stay safe, be strong in them COVID times, because you know what, go on. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people are suffering in silence and, you know, passing away. Cause I lost my granddad to COVID about 2 weeks ago. And 2 days before that, my son's granddad passed away. So it's just about being safe right now. And musically, you know, we're all on the same platform right now, because all DJs that didn't get to play out every week, they're streaming now, innit?
Yeah.
They're buying dub plates. A lot of home DJs have come out. So, boy, there's a lot going on. We don't know when it's going to be normal again. But most I can say is just everybody be safe and stay tuned. Be strong. And you don't know, just hold your head up. Oh yeah, and by the way, we're endorsing Grace, because Grace is going to be giving out some food to selective food banks in the UK.
Okay.
For those who are in need. So and yeah, they're behind Enemy Eye Productions and Third Eye Records. So we are endorsing that. So yeah, just to say, anybody who's in need of any food or anything and they're suffering in silence and don't say nothing, just look out, because Grace UK will be giving out food to selective food banks in the UK.
Blessings, for real. First of all, condolences sent for the loss of your granddad. You know what I mean? It's such a sad time, but hopefully you're bringing some blessings to everybody out there.
Definitely.
For real. And you know, it's always a pleasure, like I said, and I hope we get to speak again soon.
Yeah, definitely, because we were supposed to do this for a long time. So,
yeah, man.
We can do it. We can do it again. Hopefully, this time I could be up the station and we do longer.
Definitely, for real. Speak again soon, yeah?
All right.
Yeah, man.
All right, Rastafari.
Rastafari. Bless up, bless. Yes, people, please do go and support Rastemo, aka Demolition Man. Go and check him out. Go and see what he's all about. Okay, we started it off. We're going to be playing the tune with Johnny Osborne right now. Definite vibes each and every time. This one is called The Right Time. Here we go.
Got to be in the right time.
That one you're in the right time.
I could have told you this from a long time.
What do you mean?
But I was waiting for the right time.
But we said, listen up.
I could have told you this from a long time.
Look before the time.
But I was waiting for the right time.
Do it, y'all.
Some will be balling. Some will be calling. Some will be coming in the name of the King.
Yeah.